sparked off his group that he had going, and then with the boycott and all that stuff.
I'm sure a lot of people like wanted to do what Rosa did, but didn't have the courage to. And then when she decided to do that, it like kind of it sparked them as well. Like gave them a little bit of courage so that they could fight as well.
Okay, so kind of playing into what Addie just said, it's like not a lot of people wanted to do it because they didn't have the courage. Like a lot of people wouldn't do it because they didn't have the courage. So do you think one attribute of a leader would be they would be courageous?
Mm-hmm.
And what is like another, like for a good leader, what's another attribute do you all think that would make a good leader?
Not afraid to stand up for what's right, because I mean I know back then, like there was a lot of violence, like people would get killed or beaten just for doing something like that. So she obviously wasn't scared to do it. So.
And also, I think like to be a good leader, you have to be a good leader. You have to be a good person. I think.
Yeah.
For people to respond to you.
Right, and respect you.
Mm-hmm.
So playing into that, as far as she wasn't afraid, what is something like you could use? Okay, like in school, when you're all in school on a daily basis, and walking down the hallways, and you see different things, what do you think it takes to make a change in like behavior, or like at your age, what is some things that maybe you could do? Like to be a Rosa of your generation. I mean, the thing is, like our generation, well, basically your generation, a little bit older than you all, like 13 years. Anyway, so your generation is like known as like the technology generation, the generation that doesn't really communicate except through technology and that sort of thing. What do you think in your generation, like somebody that you all look up to right now in your generation? I mean, Rosa Parks was something that she was a positive. She struck a movement. She got other people on board, got them excited about this, and she brought about change and a positive change. What is somebody right now in your generation? It could be somebody you go to school with. It could be, a public figure that you look up to. Like, what would be one that you look up to right now?
Mine would be Randall. Not only because it's a relative, but he's always been a positive role model in my life because he's famous now and everything. And, some people get famous and they just, take it to the head and they don't remember where they came from or anything. But Randall, he's always like, he's a good-hearted person and he respects everybody that helped him to get where he is. And he remembers where he came from, and he basically doesn't act like with the mindset of a celebrity because his job now is like what he loves to do.
Yeah.
So.
And that's true. I mean, that's sometimes, like Tange said, sometimes leaders, when they get in that position, they kind of just goes to their head and they think that they're better than everybody and they forget where they come from. So I think what quality is that? What's that word for that? You don't know? Staying humble? Yeah.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
I think another one is like, I think also though to be a leader, you don't necessarily have to do something as big as Rosa did. I think if every single person had leader traits, then everybody else would be like a rumor or something. If you're a leader and you hear a rumor, instead of spreading it like wildfire, just stop it right there.
Yeah.
And then
stepping up for a positive change. That could be people you go to school with.
Yeah.
That could be, that could be anybody. What about somebody, Eddie, like, has been, like, a leader, could be famous, could be anything, like, Tanges, what would be somebody in your generation that you look up to that you say, they're a really good leader?
I've always looked up to my older brother. I just think because he's always been that type of person, he, like, just very liked, and he wasn't, about all the drama, and he's just a kind-hearted person.
And how old is he?
He is 21.
And you're 18? Just turned 18? Oh, it's Randall now? 10?
Randall's 21. Just turned 21.
And are you 18 yet?
No, 17.
That's what I thought. So, look at that. Like, that's somebody that is, 3 years older than you and probably 3.5 years older than you that you all look up to, and they're not even what we consider life experience. They don't have that much life experience, but it's somebody that you all can relate to and look up to. I mean, so that tells you, I mean, you're 18, 17. Do you think there may be people, do you feel, let's start with you, Tange, do you feel there are people that look up to you that say, you know, she's a good person, she takes care of her business, she does her, you know, keeps her grades up, has a positive outlook? Do you feel like there's people, or has anybody ever come up to you and said, you know, Tange, I really look up to you?
Yeah, I mean, I have family members that look up to me, and then I have nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also, like, the middle school girls that play
Mhm.
basketball. Some of them look up to me.
Mm-hmm. And how does that, when you think about that, how does that, like, make you act? Does it make you act any different? Do you want to act any different, or?
It doesn't make me act any different
Mhm.
because I know, like, in the position I am, being, like, a basketball player
Mhm.
for this program,
Mhm.
you have to maintain a positive image.
Mhm.
I mean, like, you can't just do anything. I mean, you can, but it doesn't look good for the program.
Right.
And I have enough respect for the program to
Right.
know not to do that. And it's also my morals. Like,
Right.
I've been raised to where I know what I'm supposed to do when I'm not supposed to do.
Right.
So.
Choosing between right and wrong. So it's almost like it's not necessarily an obligation, it's more of an honor.
Mhm.
Like, people look up to you. So that's a good thing. What about you, Addie? Can you think of anybody?
Yeah, like, just mostly like younger kids, like